Mysterious animals come towards you in the middle of a strange forest. They're covered in psychedelic colors and beautiful patterns, and they begin to speak strange things to you. You roll over, burning with fever, and realize it was just a dream. Now at this point, most people would pop an Advil, roll over, and go back to sleep. But not Pedro Linares. Oh no. He was going to turn this into Mexico's most popular and recognizable art form, Alebrijes. Welcome back to Ari Wanders. My name is Ari, and this is a channel where we are wandering through the world one idea at a time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on an adventure. You may recognize them from Disney's Coco, or maybe you've even been given one as a souvenir. Alebrijes are head-turning with their eye-catching color. There's so much more meaning behind these figurines, along with an interesting story about their dreamy origins. The way that these creatures came into Mexican tradition is almost as mystical as their mesmerizing patterns. It all started with Pedro Linares, and in this interview, his grandson recounts the story like this.
En 1947.
In 1947, Pedro fell sick. So sick that he began to see things. He said he was suddenly in a garden, and out of the clouds, monstrous figures appeared. They were horrifying and ugly, and yet somehow fantastic. He said they were animals, but ones that did not exist. And they shouted out, Alebrije, Alebrije. Really quickly here, we're going to pause for a language lesson. So in Spanish, ale means away, and brije is very similar to bruja, which is the Spanish word for witch, making it seem like these animals were communicating away witch. Now, if I were Pedro, I would have been a little bit worried that these animals were referring to me and coming to attack me. But he seemed to interpret it as these animals, these creatures were more like guardians, and they were coming to chase away the evil spirits, the witches. Now, I can only imagine what his family thought as he recounted this dream to them. Not only that, but then started to create the creatures that he had seen in this dream. He would not be the first to seemingly lose his mind and then come up with something absolutely genius. Of course, if we popularize the idea that we were all one mad streak away from becoming the next Pablo Picasso or Vincent van Gogh, we put psychologists completely out of business. I am sure that people thought that Pedro had absolutely lost it, but he didn't care. He knew a good thing when he dreamt it, and he began to create these mystical creatures that he had seen out of paper mache. Now, Pedro was not the first in Mexico to make papier-mâché figures. This tradition already existed. The papier-mâché figures that predate what Pedro was making were called Judases. Which were devilish papier-mâché figurines that were burned on Holy Saturday, the day before Easter. Using the idea and the technique from this tradition, he began to fashion these fantastic beasts into figurines, and people started to notice. It attracted attention from across the country, even drawing the eyes of notable artists such as Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. Over time, these figures have changed and evolved. The original figures that Pedro created were so monstrous they frightened his children. So he started to add more whimsical elements and bright colors. And thus a more friendly version of these fantastic figures were born. Another change that was introduced over time was the material. As you move from Mexico City down south towards Oaxaca, you'll notice these figures are being carved from a wood called copal. Carving these figurines from copal wood made them more durable. But copal also has a spiritual and an energetic significance, as it is ceremoniously burned to cleanse a person or a space's energy. Walking down the streets and through the art galleries of Oaxaca, there's a menagerie of colorful animals looking out at you. Every animal that you can possibly imagine, and some that you probably can't. Though Alebrijes have only been around for less than a century, they've emerged with a very ancient idea in Mesoamerican culture. Ancient Mesoamerican cultures had their own unique calendar and zodiac systems. And just like the internationally famous Zodiac system, the time and place of your birth was supposed to predict certain parts of your life and personality. In ancient Nahua belief, The tonali was bestowed upon a child in utero by the deities Omechicutli and Omechihuatl through a process known as fire drilling. It is believed that the deities transfer the tonali to humans by breathing the tonali into the child and igniting a fire in its chest. Franciscan friars during the colonial period connected this to an idea in Christianity, where in the beginning of Genesis, God breathes life into Adam. It was believed that a person's tonali needed protection from darker spiritual forces, maybe even protection from a colorful supernatural monster. Nowadays, you can have an Alebrije custom made to symbolize your specific zodiac or spirit guide. Your custom Alebrije will be hand carved and then painted in exquisite detail. You can also join a workshop and make your very own Alebrije. You can do this by painting a pre-made model or having one hand carved especially for you to paint. I went to Alebrijes by Maltea while in Oaxaca, and I selected this little guy out of the pack. I decked him out in dazzling color and did my best with the intricate patterns. Clearly, I have a lot more practice I need to do before I'm able to create something of the caliber of these artists here at Maltea. If you're in Oaxaca and you want to make your own Alebrije, I highly recommend this family-run workshop. They also do incredible custom-made orders, so I'll leave all their information in the description below. Also, if you want to find out your Nahua Zodiac or your unique Alebrije, I put some links in the description where you can find out. Make sure to put your special creature in the comments. No accuracy guaranteed. From Mexico City to Oaxaca and beyond, Alebrijes are a colorful part of a colorful country. I personally find them delightful and fascinating. They make me smile with their whimsy and wonder. I'm glad that Pedro decided to share his dream and leave the world a more wonderful and colorful place, reminding us to take our crazy dreams and make something amazing. With that, I will see all of you beautiful souls here next time. Till then, keep wandering.